Thanks for joining us this afternoon on WFAA Plus. I'm Adriana D'Alba.
No king! 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 No king!
This was a scene earlier as protesters gathered in South Lake for No Kings Day. More than 3,000 No Kings rallies are happening nationwide and beyond today. And right now we are monitoring protests happening in D.C., Chicago, and Atlanta. You can see large crowds there. Plus, we are live at several No Kings protests across North Texas. So far, we've been to Denton, South Lake, Carrollton, Arlington, and we will check in with my colleague Luke Cleary, who is in Dallas right now. This map right now on your screen gives you a better idea of some of the protests expected from coast to coast all throughout the day. We know that there are also protests happening in Europe, but right now there's another rally getting underway in Dallas, and that is where we find our Luke Cleary. Luke, you were just in Arlington showing us those crowds there. You're in Dallas now. Tell us what you're seeing there and how this is different.
Hi, Adriana. Yeah, I can tell you that this protest is just now getting into full swing. We're starting to see people trickle in, and a pretty large crowd has started to gather over here across the fountain. As you can see, they're right in front of Dallas City Hall. Lots of people carrying signs with strident anti-Trump messages, some of them with just expressions of anger. Others are more humorous. Some signs are just downright vulgar, and so we're trying to avoid showing those on broadcast. And as you can see here, there's a stage up at City Hall where we've heard a lot of anti-war messages from the speakers up on the stage. It's different from what we saw in Arlington, where we spent part of our morning today. We saw hundreds of protesters, if not several thousand, lining both sides of the street there. Abrams Street in a busy business corridor, where I would liken that atmosphere to something like a block party or a parade. For the most part, folks were lighthearted and happy to be there in a moment of solidarity. Let's go ahead and check in with the organizer of that Arlington protest. Here's what she had to say about their message.
We really want to stop Trump. Stop him from raising gas prices and food prices and coffee prices and all of our other prices, and then taking away our health care, taking away women's rights. I'm a retired engineer. I worked for a living. I need to be able to pay my bills too.
The organizer there said that she's hopeful that things like this, protests across the country, will energize Democratic voters as they look ahead to the midterms in November. Adriana?
Thanks, Luke. And organizers are saying that today's crowds are expected to be larger than that of previous rallies. And you mentioned when you were in Arlington earlier today that's what you were seeing out there. So our thanks to you, Luke, for keeping us up to speed as we cover this latest round of No Kings protests. Now, this is happening as GOP leaders gather in Grapevine for the Conservative Political Action Conference. It's expected to run throughout the weekend. Governor Greg Abbott will be there along with other Texas Republicans, including Ken Paxton, Ted Cruz, Chip Roy, and Mays Middleton. They'll speak about their goals for the Republican Party, and we are streaming that conference live right now on WFAA Plus. Trust that we will keep an eye on these demonstrations in North Texas and nationwide all throughout the day with special team coverage. So make sure you keep it right here on WFAA Plus for the latest.